the popular kids back then were still popular, and everybody knew who they were at the reunion.
Yeah.
And the nerdy kids, like, nobody really knew their names. And so, like, you'd still, hey, I know you, but what's your name again? Where, like, the popular kids, you never had to do that to.
Yeah.
And so there was definitely, like, a distinction between if you were popular or not. The one saving grace that I had there was I looked totally different than when I went to school. And so a few people realized who I was because somehow they've kept up with me. I don't even know how. But I guess they found Skull and Bones somehow. But a lot of other people were just like, oh my God, like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? It was kind of interesting. So I didn't feel so, like, nerdy and so much like a geek.
Did they ask you if you were like a rock star? Because you've got the rock star look, but did they kind of inquire about that? Or?
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're like, oh my God, And it was funny because the words had spread at the reunion because I guess other people were asking other people, like, who's that guy over there with the long hair? And they found out, like, actually, some of them found out who I was, like who I grew up as by my birth name, which we will not mention. And then other people never figured out who I was. They just knew I was at a high school reunion and my name was Mick Jammersfield.
Yeah.
and they knew that I played with rock stars and that I worked in radio because other people, like, it's funny because like that saying in school, it's like you start a rumor on one side of the classroom and by the time the rumor gets to the other side,
it's
like
something totally
it's
different.
totally and that's exactly what happened at this reunion. So a lot of people would not come up to and ask me who I was and stuff like that. They would go ask other people at the reunion, and by the time I guess they would heard, they're hearing that I'm playing with Guns N' Roses, and I'm like part of Guns N' Roses now, and like that I'm just taking over the world. And it was kind of funny. And I mean, I'm not going to tell them I'm not.
You just kind of rolled with. You didn't correct them.
I didn't correct them. I didn't lie, but I didn't correct them either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so. I did have another question for you. Oh, was it like high school all over again, or was it like everyone had grown up, matured a lot, and
There was a lot of people that that did grow up, and like we were talking about the quarterback and all the fullbacks and the tailbacks and the wide receivers, all the popular positions on the football team. Those guys were really cool. We got to do some drinking together. Some of those cheerleaders, though, I have to say, they
good or bad?
Bad. I mean, they got. I mean, they might look good, but some of them got some really nasty attitudes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like really snooty, and so didn't make them look good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on with that. It's like, I don't know. It's like they wanted to feel better than everybody. It was really weird. I don't know how to explain it to you.
I had another question for you.
Okay.
Hot moms? Were any hot moms there?
Oh, dear God.
Yeah?
Yeah. Dear God.
Damn.
Yeah, so anyways, I don't want to say anything incriminating over the radio, but I'll tell you what there, Jean Perrion. Come you're 20, I think you should go to yours. You know why?
Why?
A lot of them will be divorcees. They'll be tired of their husbands.
Yeah?
And they're going to be horny.
All right, so, ooh. So you're glad that you went.
Yeah, I'm glad I went. I'll probably never go to another one.
And you recapped everything, so hopefully you had a good time. Yeah.
I will say, anybody out there who's listening and you're considering going on your high school reunion, try it out.
There you go, from the man himself.
Hey, we'll be right back. Skull and Bones Radio.
This ain't random. They're perfectly dysfunctional.
Yo, where'd my Jergens go? Mick, give me my Jergens back.
Oh, no.
It wasn't you.
Can we just get back to the Hollywood gossip?
There it is, baby.
Welcome back to the show, Skull and Bones Radio.
Hey, in case y'all guys didn't know right there, that's all Ball and Chain from Social D. So today we got a really good special treat for y'all, like a Rice Krispie treat up in studio today. We got the Ghost Town Gamblers, baby, right here in San Diego. Thank you guys for coming in so much.
How you doing?
Welcome to the show, guys.
So right here to my left, we have Eric, who plays the guitar. Across from me is Nick, who plays the bass. And to the right, we have Mr. James, who is the drummer. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys coming in. Sorry, I've had too much coffee today. I think a little jittery. But anyhow, so how'd you guys come together? How did this all form about?
Well, first and foremost, when I had gotten booted out of the Navy around November, and I came back, a mutual friend kind of introduced all of us together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a mutual friend, which is crazy because I never, we used to hang around Patrick's once in a while because me and my mutual friend, his name's Ace, we'd play sometimes around that Patrick's bar in downtown.
Sure, yeah.
And we'd just play some, open mic night shows, and they were saying, we got some guys, musicians interested in kind of like getting something started.
Hell yeah, dude, that's killer. So that's how you guys met all through Patrick's then?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, dude, that's freaking killer though. I caught you guys over at Patrick's And man, you
Right.
guys nailed it, dude. You guys absolutely killed it, man. The crowd was going nuts, and
Yeah, it was a last minute thing.
yeah, dude, I was really impressed, man. Because if a band can get the chicks moving and get the girls singing, and get shaking their booties on the dance floor, that's how you know you're doing a good job. And you guys
I
were
know.
just making all that happen. I mean, I was even out there for a split second. I was trying not to be seen, but you guys had me kind of grooving at the bar a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's friggin' awesome. So, Ghost Town Gamblers, I understand you guys are a bit of a tribute band. You guys play some Clash. You guys do some Social Distortion. Now,
Right.
is there more to this happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you guys trying to do something else with this? Take this to another level?
In all honesty, we're just a bunch of musicians, and my drummer, and my bass player, they do Clash on the side, and they come to me sometimes, and we do Social D and Johnny Cash. So,
You guys also play some Johnny Cash.
yes,
little
sir.
Motorhead in there. you know,
Little Motorhead.
Little
man.
Ventures.
So you guys are a little bit of everything then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dang.
so it kind of involves that question where what else are we besides a tribute band? We kind of want to have some elements of surf and, a lot of classic songs, a lot of country.
Oh,
in there
really?
Too, and just
That's
make
awesome.
some punk with it together.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Now, I find that San Diego, even for the larger acts, like Jean was talking about, he just went and saw a major act not too long ago, and nobody was really kind of moving or doing anything for him. I mean, you remember you were talking about that just the other day? We don't want to name drop the band, but make them look bad. But yeah, they even called out the crowd. It was at Sleep Train Amphitheater. Now, I'm curious, do you guys mostly find that the people out here are pretty responsive?
Oh yeah,
at
we
the song?
get a great response. I think.
Oh, really?
When we get off the stage, people are always like, "Dude, great job!" So yeah, we get a really good response.
Yeah, people are always moving too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's always a good time.
So what are the antics that you guys will do you feel that kind of gets people to move? Because once again, like I said, we've seen big rock stars out here that can't get the crowd to respond, and it's kind of like nuts. So, I mean,
I just try to look like I'm having fun up there. You know
Yeah?
what I mean, I'm just up there to rock out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but are you really having fun up there? Or is it just kind of like a...
Catch a buzz and rock out, man.
Oh, really? So you're doing a few shots then, huh?
Oh, I have to do a few shots before I get on stage. Have to.
So how did everybody here learn their instrument? Like, how old were you when you started playing?
Man, well, my background, I started pretty much locked myself in my room and tried to learn Master of Puppets, when I was about 13 or 14.
Oh, no joke. So you went straight from Metallica.
Yeah, I went straight, I cut all the crap and
My God.
didn't learn the chords. I just learned, tabs and, what sounded cool at the time.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero 3 was pretty raging.
Well, God bless you, man. I know I tried with Blink 182 and Switchfoot, all
Progressively.
yeah,
I started.
I couldn't go straight to the hard stuff. Just recently, until I'd say a couple years ago, I was able to start getting into Guns N' Roses and stuff, which I love playing. But
Right.
for the many years, dude, I couldn't even touch that stuff. How about yourself, Nick?
Man, I've only been playing for about 3.5 years.
No way. Are you serious?
3.5 years. My brother bought me a bass, and
You never know.
I'm a really big fan of Steve Harris, Iron Maiden, and started playing some Maiden, man. Just started learning it off tabs and whatnot, and
Oh
by
my
ear,
God.
and James and I started playing some Maiden together, and
Wow.
that's pretty much it, man.
Now, James, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing like 16 years.
Wow.
Started in church, then I started a couple original bands. Those don't seem to go very well around town. I just
The church gigs or
no, the original music.
Oh, the
around
original
town.
music. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
it's hard to get people to move to music they don't know. So this kind of Social Distortion, Johnny Cash thing, they're familiar with it and they like it. So
I get you on that. You know what? That actually leads me to another question here, if you guys don't mind me kind of stepping aside here for a second and going on a limb. I've been asking myself this for a long time. Is rock and roll dead? And I don't mean that with AC/DC and Guns N' Roses, Metallica, all the big bands that already have existed for many decades. I'm talking about for the new bands coming out. This isn't not a shout out to what's that band called? Fall Out Boy or any of that, or Imagine Dragons. But to me, that's not like rock and roll. That's kind of like some pop stuff going on. But as far as straight drums, guitar, vocals, what do you guys feel? Bass?
I think it's making a comeback.
Do you?
I think I hear some decent stuff on the radio now. And, I think it's going to make a comeback. It's making a comeback, I think. I'm not going to stop.
It usually makes its rounds, but, within the past 10 years or so, I'd say that rock and roll has kind of missed the hormone element. You got a lot of just a little more whinier kind of sounding ballads or going straight for more or less the younger crowd, which kind of fell just into, the whole rap thing and, the R&B.
Okay, I got you on that. Now, we obviously, because I play myself, I'm nothing on y'all's level, but I do play myself, and I sit in my bedroom and pick up some tabs and stuff like that.
Guitar or what?
Yeah, I play guitar.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I went to a musician's institute for a little bit, but I'm not like that great or anything.
Really?
You know, I make a good rhythm guitarist and background guy, but nothing special. I have to say that when you're a kid, and I'm sure we can all relate to this. There's some song you'll hear. For me, it was like "Free Bird" and "Sweet Child of Mine" and songs like that kind of get like, oh man, what's he doing with that guitar? I want to learn how to do that. And you learn how to play it and eventually you hopefully get good. And then you get out there and you play some shows and stuff like that. Now, for you guys, what was like that moment where you're like, dude, I know I've got to do this? I know you were talking about some Iron Maiden influenced you, but I'm sure that there was like a moment that you could probably recall where you're like, that's it, Mom, you're going to take me to the Guitar Center tomorrow and we're going to buy an instrument. So do you guys have can you recall a moment in time like that?
Yeah, I remember being 10 years old and looking through like a musician's friend catalog and
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
the drums,
Oh,
and just like, knowing that is what I wanted. So I had mowed lawns for a couple of years, saved up some money, and went and bought a kit.
What was your first kit?
It was a Pacific, like a little 5-piece, like a burgundy colored.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun, man. Learned on that. Then I went to some higher end gear, Tama, and then DW.
So what are you at now?
Right now, I have I just restored a Pearl kit.
Oh, wow. So you're
Yeah.
like top of the line now.
Well, I mean, I guess it's good gear. It's good gear. And it's all about the tuning and the heads and all that. It's not just buying the most expensive thing,
Well, you see that guy back there, Mr. Jean Perrion, who's our
What's
lead
up?
guy.
What's up?
So I know he's mentioned a few times that Tommy Lee was his an inspiration for him, and so I don't know. I think he's kind of been a little back and forth though between bass and maybe some guitar. I know his heart's kind of been leaning towards the drums, but as a drummer, what would you tell him? So when he goes in Guitar Center next time to get him to pick up some drums, what would your advice be to him, or some inspirational words?
Well, I would go used first of all. I'd go find just a cheap kit on Craigslist and then throw some good heads on it. You'd be fine. Anything really, Tama, Pearl, they're all pretty decent.
Yeah, those sound like the popular. Like I've heard of those names before.
Yeah,
So
those are the good ones. Pacific also, they make good gear. Yeah.
Now, as far as chicks go, I know it might be a little bit biased because you are a drummer, but do you feel like chicks probably get the most? Or I mean, drummers get the most chicks in a band. Like,
No, by
oh really?
far, no. Yeah, it's these guys for sure.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. I don't. Yeah, nobody sees the drummer. I don't know. Maybe it's
Whatever,
just me,
dude.
All right, Nick. So what do you got to say about that, man?
Where were my influences? What was the question again?
Well, your influences you were talking about were Iron Maiden and so on and so forth. And you said you started playing 3.5 years ago.
Yeah,
But,
seriously. Yeah, I seriously wanted to start playing after my brother got me a bass. But my first bass, I guess, was when I was about 15 years old. My mom's boyfriend bought me one because he got me into reggae music. And I
really?
kind of wanted to play, the bass lines from the reggae. And didn't really pay too much attention to it, unfortunately, until decades later when my brother buys me one, and I just put my nose to the grind and practice for hours a day. Come home from work and you sit on the couch for 4 hours. You know what I mean? And you
absolutely, I hear you on that.
practice a song till you get it right. You know what I mean? And
So, what words of inspiration would you have for any kids out there that that maybe considering playing some bass, or maybe like a big Megadeth fan or something like that? Like, I'm thinking about maybe picking up a bass.
Yeah, man, pick it up. Definitely pick it up. It's a fun instrument. Hell, I still play shows with my practice bass. You know what I mean? I still
do you
play with
really?
my Squier. I got a Squier Bronco bass that I get up there.
I hear
and
you, dude.
It sounds just fine. You know what I mean? Get yourself a cheap bass, and get some tabs. Play songs that you like. Play them over and over again, and if you want it bad enough, it'll come. You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough.
just gotta stick with it.
Now, we were talking about a little bit earlier, San Diego seems to have like a big reggae scene, but you guys feel that rock is making a comeback. Now, when you say that rock is making a comeback, is it straight up rock and roll, or do you guys feel like it's going to be some kind of crossover, like a reggae rock or like a country rock? Or
I kind of think harder rock and roll is starting to get more popular.
Really?
What I mean? Because I go plenty of rock shows myself. Like the
Sure.
Sword and stuff like that, and there's always a great turnout. So
My God, really?
to me, rock isn't dead. Every show I go to, it's generally packed. So
What are the popular venues around here where you can like go catch a good show?
Brick by Brick.
Brick by Brick.